So we're so happy to have you here with us. Our students are excited to show you everything that they have done over the year, and we've also got some amazing people from the community. But we are starting with a welcome to country given by Auntie Hope.
Welcome everybody. It's an honour and a privilege for me to provide a welcome to country for this showcasing the third year Serious Games. Just walking around and looking at all of the different things that have been produced, talking to the team members, I think this will be something that not only the students will be very proud of, and their lecturers and staff, but also the University of the Sunshine Coast. Practicing and living our culture as a Kabi Kabi First Nation Australian woman and elder of the Kabi Kabi Nation, I do this in remembrance of all of those who have passed on before us, in order for us to enjoy what we have today. And to acknowledge those students here tonight for this particular function. All the best. Congratulations. And I hope everybody enjoys this as much as what I have. Thank you very much.
I'm here to introduce a great friend of mine. I've had the pleasure of working with him through 2 courses, I think, and he's just an insane workhorse. You can always count on him. Always count on him to do the late nights that you didn't want to do. And he just does some amazing work, and it's just been an absolute honour to be able to do assignments with him and just make sure that we nailed it because of his hard work and not mine. And just reap the rewards, I guess. But he's been doing some really cool stuff. I've learned a lot from him. The biggest thing that I've learned through is the amount of stress and the amount of things that we go through and the time crunch that we do, that I'm sure everyone here that is showing has experienced. You can still be a really chill cucumber. So without further ado, I'll give you to Nat.
Hi there, I'm Nat, as previously introduced, I guess. I graduated here in 2017 with a major in 3D design and serious games. One of probably the biggest thing that I can say is, like, you do a certain amount of work when you're in class, right? And then everyone sort of says, oh, you know, you're sort of expected to go home and do even more work. And it's not always true. Like, sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't, but the biggest thing you can do in your own time is, like, self-directed study. So if you sort of have an idea for what you want to do, whether that be for your assignment or for something totally different, the best thing you can really do is just go and do it. Like, type it into Google. How do I do X? Probably the biggest tool that you have available to you. Besides, obviously, all the wonderful resources provided by the University of the Sunshine Coast. So at the moment, I'm working with a company in Majimba, Off-Planet Simulation. They develop and provide flight simulation training and simulated flight training devices to a handful of companies all over the Sunshine Coast, and I develop integration software, so sort of one day I'll have a thing just show up on my desk and get told, here, make this work with this, or make this do X thing. Whether that be, you know, a set of, like, virtual reality gloves or some piece of machinery, God knows what, really. New pieces of software, like we've got a software we use for gauge panels, and I have become I guess, guru in that. So there's lots of interesting things that you can do with a degree in serious games.
I have a question.
Sure. I forgot to ask for questions.
I have two questions, actually. Actually, before I do that, does anyone else have a question?
Why did you choose that degree?
So the degree that I did was the Bachelor of Creative Industries, which is sort of like a stepping stone to a lot of different creative industries. So not necessarily just games or 3D, but you can do things like creative writing and film and media studies and graphic design and e-media. But I sort of came here not knowing what I wanted to do, and it wasn't until I sort of took a few classes to work out where I wanted to go from there.
And what did you take from your study here that you feel has most benefited you out in the real world?
Probably the biggest thing that I took from here was the ability to sort of learn, I guess. Yeah, like sort of learning, teaching, or not teaching, I guess. Learning techniques.
So it sounds like once you got out there, so we teach certain things about that, and there are things that you need to learn on the job. Did you find out that you needed to learn other things quickly?
So being in like a research and development type position, I had to learn a lot of things very quickly. So like I said, like I'd have something to sort of show up and have to work out what to do with it, how it works, what it is good for, I guess, and then how we can implement it into the simulators we develop.
Can you give us an example?
So we have a piece of software called Prepared, which is effectively like a flight simulation tool. It's sort of like a home, like a centralized piece of software, I guess. So it handles a lot of like the dynamics and the navigation tools and measuring things like engine temperatures and things like that. So pulling data out of that and then working out how to send it to another program, whether that be an image generator, another 3D engine, something that will then recalculate things, because the original piece of software doesn't do that out of the box.
Do you enjoy your job?
That is a great question. Like, with every job, you sort of... with every job, you sort of have ups and downs. And it's not like you walk into doing something every day and you're like, I love this every day. A lot of hard work goes into it, and it's really, sometimes it's not till the end of a project that you really realize that you do love your job.
So it sounds like one of the things that Nate just said was that he has to take information out of a system and put it into a variety of systems. The software to do that is called middleware, and it's usually the last thing to be developed. So it seems like one of the things that Nate does in his job, and what people may be expected to do in their jobs leaving here, is human middleware, basically translating things from one system to another. Do you need any special skills? How do you manage that with all of these different pieces of software?
Lots of diagrams. So, yeah, it really just comes down to working out and being able to visualize where data is and where it needs to go and all that sort of thing. So like, for instance, if you need to pull the latitude out of this piece of software and then convert it down to decimal degrees to send it over to here, and then convert it back to degrees, minutes, seconds over here, like it's sort of just following, like, where does this number, where does it go, what does it touch, and then where does it end up? And that's what I do.
Thank you, Nat. Were there any other questions? Okay, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. All right, so Nat is one of our first graduates from the program, giving you a very real-world work perspective. Next, so those of you who are not from USC might not know, we are a part of, there's several schools here, and we are sitting within the School of Communications and Creative Industries. So you'll notice that Nat said that his bachelor was in Creative Industries. So we have a serious games major within Creative Industries, and then we also have a separate bachelor degree. So his was interdisciplinary, as he said. He can do a lot of different things in one degree, and that's Creative Industries. If you want to do a little of this and a little of that, and if you want to focus on games, there's a different degree for that as well. So the head of school for our School of Communication and Creative Industries is Phil, who is coming up next and has a few words for you. And then we'll talk about a research component after that. Christian.
Thanks, Katrina. And thanks, Nat. That was great to hear about what you're doing. Sounds really fascinating. And thank you, Auntie Hope, for welcoming us to this lovely place that we live and work in. It's a great. This is always a great night. It's only my second time around. I haven't had a chance to see the work, but I'm really looking forward to it. Our games graduates are doing some wonderful things, and the night wouldn't be possible, of course, without the students and the staff who teach them. This is a fairly new degree, and it's still being developed. It will continue to change as the world changes, because it's addressing problems that the world has. That's what the games degree does here. And it's what the games degree will continue to do here, is evolve and address the problems that the world throws up. I'm a linguist by trade, so I tend to go and look at what words mean, and games comes from a Proto-Germanic word, gammon, meaning people together, basically, the sense of people doing stuff together. And it's a very powerful platform, I think, is the game. And it's amazing when we start thinking in terms of game how much time we spend playing games, so to speak. I want to talk about a few of the highlights that our staff and students have managed to rack up this year, starting with Jessica Gates, who took out the Excellence in Narrative Award in the Free Play Independent Games Festival for her game Bound by Blood. Where are you, Jess? Where is she? Is she here? Congratulations, thank you. At the same festival, our serious games tutor, Dakota Barker, took out the Micro Game Award for his doctoral research game Rise, which is on display in room E121 down there tonight. The description I have in front of me says, in Rise you get to experience a little of what it is like to live with chronic pain. I can't see it being a big seller, Dakota, but you never know. Our students Philip Lyon, Amber Bauman and Callum Buckman recently had their virtual reality prototype, Trustworthy, featured on the ABC Brisbane Radio and Channel 10 children's TV program Scope. You can play the game Prototype in the VR room tonight. Congratulations, that's fantastic. This month, an organisation founded and managed by our serious games tutor, Dr. Alana Cole, formed a partnership with the International Game Developers Association to help improve the representation of LGBTQ+ characters in games. Now you can find out more about the not-for-profit organisation Queerly Represent Me in E121 also. So that's a great achievement, Alana, and I went and had a look at the site. It's an amazing work of categorisation, pulling together stuff from all over the place. I suggest you go and have a look just to see see the extent of work that Alana's done on that. This is a fourth annual showcase event for Serious Games. Our first event showcased 10 booths and we had 60 attendees. This year we have more than 35 booths and you look like a lot. All of the booths are listed in your program. We're showcasing work from undergraduates, that's first to third years, postgraduates, work from local games developers, and this is really great. For the first time, we have work from local primary and high school students as part of the CoderDojo program. And I congratulate who put that together. Well done. Thank you very much, and congratulations. Our Serious Game staff are excellent. Colleen and Katrina do wonderful work, especially bringing women into the games industry. They spend a lot of time doing that, and they do a great job of it, not just here, but in Gympie, Fraser Coast, elsewhere, and we'll see a lot more of that as time goes on. The 6 featured games are the work of our third-year students. Students were encouraged to form teams and create a game for a client. They include Unity Water with the Back to Tap campaign, Gumbaka Creations, Student Wellbeing at USC, and Charles Sturt University. Now that's a great commendation for our students and for the quality of the work coming out of this degree. I'm really pleased to launch this and introduce everybody to you. And thank you very much for coming along tonight.
Thank you, Phil. As a university, we have 2 focuses. We have more than 2, but 2 main focuses. So we teach undergrad, and you'll see the works of those as well. But we also have postgrad, because research is also very important. And a lot of the people who got together and founded the Bachelor of Serious Games started off as PhD students in our Engage lab, which is right here. And so the person who has supervised most of us as PhD students, and also who supervises other students who are also doing amazing things in serious games, like VR treadmill systems and a bunch of other amazing things, is Christian Jones, who wants to come up and speak to you next. So, Christian, come on up.
Like how Katrina said, wants to come up and talk to you. Of course I do. Welcome, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure to see this program develop over a very brief period of time. Like we said, it's only 4 years. I head up this team over here, which is the Engaged Research Lab. Many of our students and staff will have some type of association with that team there. Interestingly, my title at the university is Professor of Interactive Digital Media. So that shows you why I'm so interested in the type of work that you're doing here. My background is in sort of engineering, IT, and psychology, so I really am passionate about how we can use technology to change people's lives. And that's what this team does. We research how we can use technology to change people's lives. I think this university is changing and developing and growing very quickly. You'll all appreciate that as well. Even just 5 years ago, it would have been difficult to stand here 5 years ago, primarily because this building didn't exist. But in that period of time, what we've done is we've built the Engage Lab, and if you get in there, you'll see all the high-tech things that, we get the earliest technology, things that other universities, other countries don't have. We get them in here and we play with them. From there, we then have the Immerse Studio, which is a cave environment. We then kitted out our music and recording studio in here, which many of you have used for your soundtracks for your games. And then at the start of this year, we took over that room over there, which is the VR AR lab, which we call the Fishbowl. So, and if you walk around here, you'll see some other technology where we're looking at doing VR experiences rather than in a 4x4 meter, which we're quite used to a stadium size VR experience where you can walk around huge courts. And like Phil says, this program is developing and it's under the custodian, some great staff at this university who are going to ensure that this really stays this great serious games program in whatever iteration it may look like. So you'll agree this is such a dynamic, talented, enthusiastic team that are doing some great things. It's great to be able to do something so creative, but also so impactful and so powerful, not just for the university, but more broadly. And it seems with your projects as well, you've been able to engage with community, engage with industry, and make some really interesting projects. And it's great also to see our younger colleagues who one day might become our serious games and game developers here as well. Thank you for coming along. It's a great pleasure and privilege to have you here. And we also have our engineering colleagues who have been doing some creative things with Arduinos. And, you know, in a long distance past, that was my discipline, engineering. So, yeah, see, we can be creative. So, yeah, they will be around here somewhere. Have a look and play with their technologies. So, again, this has been an absolute pleasure. I will come around and I'll get to see all of your exhibits, and I'm really looking forward to it. But please just enjoy this evening. This is your chance to showcase and share the great work that you're doing here at the university. So, thank you very much.